Good morning. How are you guys doing? My people. It's the 23rd of February, a Friday, and you're watching the Shades of Clarity channel. And I guess what I want to get into this morning is kind of my drinking history. Well, not so much the history, but how it eventually slid into something that I did not want it to become. Now, when I took my first drink when I was 15 years old, and had a buddy buy a 6-pack of beer, me and this guy, and we drank it, and it was probably just a 12 pack, and the next day it was the first hangover I've ever had. Just sicker than hell. I mean, just, everything shaky, pukey, just icky, nasty. And I just stayed away from it. I got into skateboarding like real heavily. As you guys might know, I like aviation. I've been posting a lot of shorts. But prior to, in high school, I didn't drink. Anyway, I was like, I guess I kind of ran in a lot of different social circles. From the preppy-ish type people to the poorest people to the middle class people. So it was like I kind of knew everybody. And but I identified myself as like a straight edge skateboarder. I mean, I was against alcohol, marijuana, everything, any kind of illegal substances, anything like that. And it was good. I mean, I liked that. There was a lot of music I got into that I wanted to mention, like Uniform Choice. They had their Screaming for Change album, Youth of Today, Break Down the Walls. They were like, some of them were into the Krishna consciousness movement. That wasn't really my thing. I didn't take it to any kind of extreme like that, but like Minor Threat. Black Flag. Just none of the all the skateboarding and all the punk rock and all that stuff. It was all tied together. Pardon me. Hanging out with my friends. I mean, yeah, we dated girls and we did all that kind of stuff and had a lot of fun. But it was just the drinking. There wasn't any until I was 23. And then I started hanging out at the beach. And I had stopped really skating a lot at that point because street skating had come in. And I wasn't much of a street skater. I wasn't very good. I did like slapping curbs and, all that kind of thing, but vert was kind of going down, and I just started hanging out with a friend of mine at the beach, and we would go to clubs at night. I mean, this is around 93 to 90. I left for school like in 94, so there was drinking after 23 off and on, and it didn't really, and my question for a lot of you, my people here, are when did you know that you had crossed the line? You know, that all of a sudden something's wrong here and I can't drink anymore. But you keep doing it. I mean, I only recently got sober. I mean, I got, you know, several months and everything since a slip after about a 9-month period where I was going to support groups, hanging out with that crowd and doing all that stuff. Didn't think about it again, and then just kind of had some bad things happen, and then from that point I was doing that. But yeah, I was into, you know, still into the punk rock stuff. Listen to that. Of course, the Seattle stuff came in. Actually, I was in Wilmington one time, and Henry Rollins and Billy Zane were in town. They were doing a movie called Morgan's Ferry, and so people said they had saw Rollins and Billy Zane downtown hanging out. But I had heard that he was doing a spoken word at Barnes & Noble, so I decided to go, and I've got a copy of his Get in the Van. That's like his memoir, per se, of his years on tour when he was with Black Flag in that van, going from town to town and everything. And it was a small turnout. It really was. There were probably 50 people there. And Barnes & Noble, and Rollins comes out and does his spoken word thing, and my buddy had a copy of Get in the Van, so I snuck it in with mine to get it signed. So it's got hell of a time, and I think he signed like the same thing in my friend's book, but I just thought that would be cool, and I hid it. You know, but then later I told him that I had gotten an autograph for him, so he was pretty stoked on it. But the drinking didn't really just sort of go off the rails like until 2004. I had just started, I was just in a bad place, bad frame of mind. You know, folks that are alcoholics, you know how it gets. You know, it's just a one spiral down, losing driver's license, DWI. It just and it just kept going. It's like I didn't get it through my head, and I guess a part of the disease process, like that I've talked about. You know, your prefrontal cortex sort of gets separated from your midbrain, and then your urges become what they shouldn't be. And I'm just gonna kind of keep this brief. I just thought I would drop in. I've just been doing a bunch of aviation shorts that have been doing pretty well. Picked up a few more subscribers. If you like this video and you like this what you hear, and if you can't stand me and you can't stand anything, please leave that in the comments and subscribe, just for the hell of it, just for me. No, don't subscribe. Don't put any comments down. There's not a lot of comments to my videos, and I don't know if that's maybe because people don't want to sort of out themselves of, you know, breaking anonymity, maybe. But it would be interesting to hear other people's takes on some of the videos I have done. Problems the alcohol have caused job issues. I've wasted a lot of time, you know, not really, you know, basically freelance writing and then working retail, and that's about to come to an end, I think, because I'm ready to move on. I'm just tired of it. I'd like to get back on the skateboard, and I had some vinyl records, some punk rock vinyl records that were in storage. I just was reminded of that. When Hurricane Florence came through, I had a lot of my possessions stored in someone's attic. They had a house on the water, and the water got it. I guess all the moisture in the air stuck all the vinyl to the sleeves. And it was vinyl that was worth, it had like Minor Threat's first album. I mean, I looked on eBay, and one of those was like going for $300. It was an original Discord like one of their first record, a couple of other records that were, I don't know if they were completely original records, but they sure damn looked it, because a guy just gave them to me. He's like, I don't listen to that stuff anymore, you can have them. I'm like, hell yeah, man, I'll take them. So, but yeah, it's been a hell of a ride, man, just trying to put the pieces back together, get the license back, get everything going. But I really would like to hear some stories, maybe of when you knew you had crossed over that line from being able to drink responsibly to a fiend, or not necessarily a fiend, but just maybe you had a problem and you knew you had to stop, or you became a full-blown alcoholic and had all kinds of problems happen. You don't have to go into great detail about it, but I would like to hear you know, when it happened. I'm pretty sure for me, like I said, it happened in 2004. But that about wraps it up. I was just going to make this one brief. And as always, stay tuned, and I'll see you later.